Hello.
Nên là đúng mày đấy. Đây là mấy
Hello, sir. Sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir.
So good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Can you all unmute your videos, please, if you don't mind? Okay, good evening, friends. Let's start the program. People will join. As is customary, we will begin with a rendition to our motherland. All those of you who can kindly stand up, others can keep your videos muted. And then you can restart the video after the rendition is over.
वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां शस्य श्यामलां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्नां पुलकितयामिनी पुल्यकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् कोटि कोटि कंठ कल कल निनाद करले कोटि कोटि भुजै धृत खर खर वाले अबला केनु मारक बोले बहुबल धारिणी नमामि तारिणी विपुदल वारिणी मातरम् वन्दे तुम्ही विद्या तुम्ही धर्म तुम्ही रिधी तुम्ही मर्मा त्वं हि प्राणाः शरीरे बाहुते तुम्ही मा शक्ति हृदये तुम्ही मा भक्ति तुम्हारी प्रतिमा गढ़ी मंदिरे मंदिरे वन्दे मातरम् त्वं हि दुर्गा दश प्रहरण धारिणी
भारत माता की जय।
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
Good evening, friends. Welcome back to the continuation of
Good
our
evening, sir.
journey on overcoming hurdles, the motivational hurdles. Can everyone kindly unmute your videos, all those who can? Dushanji? Dushanji, can you unmute your video, please? Okay. Yeah, thank you. Namaskar. See, we had stopped yesterday with the case study. Now we will see what are the common mistakes which are committed by companies in handling motivational hurdles. What do we mean by motivational hurdles? What exactly do we mean by that? What is the meaning of motivational hurdle? Cognitive hurdle is in the hurdles, the problems which occur because of a conflict between the conceiver and the receiver logic, isn't it? The conceiver has a particular logic, he communicates it, and the receiver's logic is different. So there is a mistake in how it is perceived, and that perception gap is what is called the hurdle in cognition. The redistribution, the reallocation of the various resources of the organization, be it manpower, be it finance, technology, machinery, land, time. The mistakes which occur in all these things which lead to a hurdle in the growth is called resource hurdle. What is the meaning of a motivational hurdle?
Guruji Vikas.
Yeah.
So motivational hurdle, like you have only, like from your session only, it is something has to do with the employees, like energizing employees to, or motivate employees to drive the change, or to really cause the difference which the organization is up to.
Very good. Yes, Suresh?
Yes, sir. You talked about the Gallup survey and the low level of engagement of the employees. Helping employees get engaged with the
I'm sorry,
organization.
Suresh, you are again confusing two totally different concepts. Motivation and engagement is not the same. Engagement is far above motivation. Without understanding motivation, you can't even reach engagement.
Yeah. Motivation. Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Hello.
Yes, Dushanji, boliye.
Motivation is something where you feel like working. The net result is you feel like achieving the common goals, the company goals, and that is the result of it, which could be multiplicity of the factors, your personal beliefs matching with the company goals, your interest in making it happen, and monetarily, the environment, all these things being put together.
Okay, let me ask you a simple question. to help you understand the difference between motivation and engagement and what is the essential intrinsic difference in it, and why engagement is regarded to be far above motivation, I will give you an example. Dushanji, let us assume that you are going in a cruise in the ocean. Suddenly the ship catches fire. There is only one lifeboat. What will you do?
The same rule applies. I jump first and then help the others as well.
So you jump first, right? Very good. And why did you do that?
Because if I am going to survive, the others will. I mean, I would be able to
So
help
it
someone.
is self-preservation. Correct?
Absolutely.
Now let me change the scenario a bit. You are in the same cruise with your wife and children, and the cruise boat catches fire. Now what will you do?
Obviously, the family comes first and then comes me.
Why? Why does the logic of if I survive, I can help others not work here? So the same logic should apply here. But does it? Your answer was spontaneous. You said first you will help your family.
Absolutely.
Why? Now, what is the difference between the first and the second scenario? You have to understand the first and the second scenario very clearly to be able to understand the difference between motivation and engagement. And why you will behave this way in the second instance, you are absolutely right. Any sane person, this is the answer he will give, that I will first help my family onto the boat, then I
There
will
are
try
two
to
clear
help.
things. One, they depend on me. They are always they are dependent on me. They have been expecting help from me. Children are small. I said children, not adults. Had it been my son been adults, they would have been possibly helping me, I would say, instead of me helping them. But if it is children and my wife,
Mr.
it is me
Dushyant, you
helping
can make all the variations in answers now, but the first impromptu answer is the only right one.
Absolutely. It's possibly the emotions.
Why is it so? Can anyone help me understand why Mr. Dushyant or you or anyone will behave like this? Be it Vikas Goyal or be it Yogesh Jain or be it Suresh Ramaratnam or Mathur Saab or Anil or Subbaraju or Balakrishnan, anyone, if he were alone in the boat, he will kill, push, bite, scratch to get onto the boat first. But if he is with his family and children, his objective will be to get them onto the boat first, then he will try to get in. Why?
Priority.
What do you mean priority? How did it change? Then which is motivation, which is engagement? The first is motivation, self-preservation. But the second is engagement. That you say, they depend on me, all these things. The company also depends on you. Huh? But then a motivated individual does not think of the company, he thinks of himself first. But an engaged employee thinks of the company first. The crux of the issue is you will not jump into the boat leaving them because you will never be able to live peacefully after that in your life. It will torture you to death. Every single second of your life after that, you will punish yourself that I let down these people. My family, I let down. That is one of the major reasons why you will always, in the subconscious level, you said they depend on me. That was the answer you gave, Mr. Dushyant.
Yes, absolutely.
That is one of the most important thing, Mr. Vikas, can you put off the video, please? Yeah, that is one of the most important reasons why engagement far outstrips motivation. I'll tell you. Supposing you are a highly motivated employee, that means what? You want to perform because you want to be recognized. You want to perform because you want to be rewarded. You want to perform because you want to be promoted. You want to perform because you want to be successful. It is always you which comes first. For an engaged employee, always the organization comes first. That is the reason why motivated employees are very dangerous to the organization. Because when a motivated employee leaves the company and goes, he takes all the people who are responsible for his success along with him and creates a big hole in the organization. An engaged employee will never do that. He might go. It's not that an engaged employee does not change his job, but he will not damage the company in which he was there, because he will feel that my happiness is on the happiness of the organization. This is the difference between motivation and engagement. So never ever make the mistake. Engagement is far ahead. We are only discussing engagement hurdles are never there. Please understand one thing. Motivational hurdles are there. Motivational hurdles are there because motivation is extrinsic. The organization has to create it. Engagement is intrinsic. You have to culture that feeling within the employee. That is a huge difference. In employee engagement, there are strategies to enhance engagement. We will see how those are done in a later stage in a different subject. But here we are talking about motivation. This session is going to be very important. Be you, what do you call it? An employee or an employer or a consultant, you should know how to motivate people. And in knowing how to motivate people, the key is not in doing something which will motivate people. The key is in not doing things which demotivate people. Are you understanding what I'm telling? The key is in not doing things which demotivate people. Let's start today's session with this small, brief introduction. Let us discuss the common mistakes in addressing motivational hurdles. You know, meaning common mistakes which companies make in motivating people. I am sure most of you who have either a company or who are in a senior position and who have had to motivate people, you have made these mistakes because it is something which is very, 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 very normal. The first is relying solely on financial incentives. You know, whenever you talk to people, they will say, what's in it for me? We always assume the what's in it for me is financial in nature, but not necessarily. Assuming money alone will motivate employees to embrace change is a grave mistake. Change requires belief and emotional commitment, not just transactional effort. Financial rewards may generate short-term compliance, but not sustained engagement. Now, throw back your mind. You must have been employed at some stage of your life before you start business or whatever it is. You must have been employed. You must have got an increment also. Am I right? The month you got the increment and month you received the increased salary in your hand, how did you feel?
Good.
Then next month?
Happy.
It become a routine.
It has become a routine. So you see, it's extremely short-lived. Financial considerations are extremely short-lived. Second, overlooking the power of purpose. If you don't know why you are doing something, you will never be able to do it effectively. Framing changes only in terms of profits or metrics without linking it to a higher purpose never works. That is the reason, you know, why you have to explain to your subordinate What is the purpose of what he is doing? Even if he is a peon, an office boy, if he knows there is a purpose to it, he will do it with greater commitment and engagement. The third, informal leaders. Remember one thing, we always assume that position gives us authority. But no, position does not give you any authority. It is a mirage. What gives you authority is your ability to influence those who listen to you. And informal leaders are the people to whom mostly the organization listens. That's why there is something called a grapevine in every organization. Fourth, top-down mandate without buy-in. Telling someone that you have to do this will never work. Never ever work. Very simple example.
The case study you gave.
Huh?
The case study you gave.
Not just the case study. We will take the group here. All of you are paying me to conduct this program. All of you are paying me to learn. All are paying me as a mentor, and I have to telephone every one of you 10 times and remind the class is going to start. Do you want a do you want me to give you a bigger example than this? What will happen if I don't telephone you?
I will still commit it.
Maybe you will, but what about everybody else?
No.
But every time I do it. Every time I post the link 3 times on that day. Every time half an hour before that I start posting, it is going to open, it has opened, it is now people have joined, come join. Then to add to it, I telephone. So you see, just telling someone does not help. You have to explain to them why it is necessary for them to be present there. Not creating an emotional engagement. This is a very, very serious issue. You need to create an emotional engagement if you want people to feel motivated and do something. Data heavy presentation or corporate jargon to explain change does not work because 90% of the people don't understand the jargons which are used. It goes over their head. Failing to celebrate early wins and failing to celebrate them immediately after it happens. Both are dangerous. If you wait for 3 days to celebrate a particular win, it has become old news, old hat, and there is no interest in it. And for you, something might be very small, but for the person who has achieved it, it could be very, very big, and he could feel slighted, insulted, humiliated, unappreciated if you don't celebrate it. Celebration does not necessarily mean booking an auditorium and calling a keynote speaker and then cutting a cake. No, celebration could be a simple thank you by going over to him, or sending a personal note, just calling him over the phone, anything. When someone does something, let the world know that he has done something good for you. That is very important. All employees are the same. Don't think everyone is the same. People are not the same. Everyone is different in their own way. Everyone is different. That is why there is this saying called horses for courses. The horse which can run on clay cannot run on grass. The horse which can run on grass cannot run on sand.
How much? 1400. Okay.
Creating change fatigue. When you attempt too many things at the same time, you create a fatigue in the mind of the people. They get tired. They don't know what to do. So you see, you have to be very careful. Launching too many initiatives at once or frequently shifting focus. Don't keep changing the goalpost. That is very dangerous. Ignoring demotivators. As I said, the best thing you can do for motivating people is to remove the demotivators. By ensuring demotivators are removed, motivation can be achieved. Trying to motivate without first removing all those things which are demotivating will not work. Finally, poor or inconsistent communication. Be consistent.
Session, see this.
Consistent in your communication. Is it clear? Have you seen it? Now, I want you all to take a screenshot of this. Have you all taken a screenshot?
Yes, Guruji.
Very good. Now, I am going to, there are 10 of us here. I'm going to split you into 2 rooms. These 10 demotivators, you must have faced them in your life, in your organization, with your employees, employers, or as a leader, as a consultant. You must have seen it in various companies. I want you to tell me, what if you see one of them, what will you do to overcome it? Supposing you see that a company is primarily focusing on financial incentives to reward people. What will you do? Okay, is it clear?
Sir, not creating emotional engagement, a little more, 2 lines.
Not creating emotional engagement. What is the meaning of emotional engagement?
Developing a bonding.
Yes. Developing and bonding, isn't it? How will you do that?
By understanding about the family, about
Not necessarily. Don't go into family. People see, I'll tell you, this objective, let us say, goal setting we were talking about. What are you supposed to do in this goal setting thing?
to make someone understand what is in it for them.
No,
financial part.
no. Yesterday we were speaking, Yogesh ji. Vikas ji also gave the full example.
Complexities, challenges, and
Yes. Complexities, challenges, and then when the challenges are clearly understood and how it is to be handled is understood, what happens? He becomes emotionally engaged. He realizes this is achievable.
More committed.
Emotional engagement means a self-realization. Emotional engagement does not necessarily mean I have to say you are like my son, you are like my brother. No. That is a false thing that you are telling. If you want people to be emotionally engaged with something, get them to realize that it is within their capacity to achieve it. For instance, you have an issue, isn't it, Yogesh ji? With one of your employees, he is not emotionally engaged with the target that you are giving him. Correct?
yes.
Call him, make him sit down. Tell him that, look, this is what you have achieved last year. This is your salary. This is safeguarded. As long as you continue achieving this, this is safeguarded. But cost of living is going up. And your requirements are also, social requirements are going up. So you require a higher package. At the same time, the same cost of living and same requirements are going up for the organization also. So the organization needs a better revenue flow. So for the extra revenue that you require, let us look at how we can create that extra revenue flow. He will say, Saab, ye hai what? You tell him, give me a few minutes. Let us sit down and see what can be done. Say, let us say you have to do X amount more. What are the complexities in doing this X amount more? What are the various avenues available for you to do the X amount more? In each of these revenues, what are the challenges that you are facing? What can you do to overcome those challenges? How can I help you and assist you in overcoming those challenges? Ask him, work out with him as he sees that the challenges are more imagined and it can be handled easily. The emotional commitment will start coming in because he will start feeling more confident. Isn't confidence an emotion? Huh?
Got it, got it.
Confidence is also an emotion. Is
Yes.
not clarity an emotion?
Yes.
Clarity by itself might not be an emotion, but lack of clarity creates confusion, which is an emotion.
Yes. Yes.
Are you understanding what I'm telling? So when we are talking about enhanced emotional engagement, we are not talking about making someone my brother, my sister, my wife, or my daughter. No. I'm talking about ensuring that they understand better what is at stake and what they need to do to be able to achieve it. It is usually what happens, our default mode to try and manipulate. When you start telling things like, "Arey yaar, you have been with me for so many years. If you don't do, who will do?" This is manipulation. This is not management.
Okay.
There is a difference between management and manipulation.
So it becomes pampering sort of.
Not only temporary, he will see through it.
Pampering.
Yeah, you see, he will lose confidence on you. So don't do that. Okay? Who is missing from here? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to be splitting you into 2 groups. Or do you all want to discuss as a single group here itself?
Yeah.
2 rooms are also okay.
Okay.
Discuss it.
I have created 2 rooms. Please move towards those rooms and discuss. And then get back. I'm giving you 30 minutes time. You can come back and present what you will do. Please move towards the rooms. Rasood, move towards the room. Rasood? Yeah. Okay. So which team is going to start first?
We can.
Huh?
Team 1 can.
Please go ahead, start.
Sir, allow share.
Yeah, allowed.
So this is the classwork of 10 mistakes. Top-down mandates without buy-in, people feel left out. So when some opposition leader brought out Nyaya scheme of about 8,000 per month without involving people, it did not yield any good result. Though this example is not very good from corporate point of view. Not creating emotional engagement, you already explained, so I did not write anything. Yes, team did discuss. Relying solely on financial incentive, we used to see this very much in a filter bag company, where they used to cry for incentive for 3 to 4 months if it got delayed. But after getting the same, life became as usual from second month onwards after getting the increment declaration. And people were performing in the same way. Overlooking the power of purpose, I lost motivationally when stated purpose was shorted by advisor as a marketing gimmick, and he lost respect in my life. So it so happened that in the similar company, they claim that they are into solution business, and when I confronted why we are not working on the solution and people complaints are keep coming in, they said that we have to market the product. Solution is something which is just a gimmick that we have coined for people to come on board. So the customer continued suffering, and I also lost my interest in consulting. Ignoring informal leaders, I have written wife, mentor, silence influencers like industry well-wishers. These are all informal leaders, and if we ignore them, this point I'll have to seek more clarity on. Poor or inconsistent communication, company is into bad condition and big car coming for director. So Goswami Saab said that it is a receiver perception versus presenter's viewpoint difference, different voices from various level of management, as we saw in the case study where top management is bringing IoT based machines and senior manager himself feels why IoT based product needed when traditional products are performing well. This is the inconsistent communication and is becomes a very big challenge for the company to progress. Failing to celebrate early win, one of our client got a good grade in the certification audit. We asked him to celebrate. He told he would wait for formal result to come in, which came after 15 days. But by then, the whole euphoria about the activity waned, and people did not actually enjoy and felt the fruit of getting that win. So something should be done as early as possible, and then team members added that dashboard showing small achievements should also be celebrated as small wins. Treating all employees the same, getting a common increment declaration would not reach any kind of motivation. Everybody would feel that they have just got the raise because company has performed well. Instead, if performers are given higher incentive than those who have not performed, may challenge those who have fire in the belly to perform, and may motivate those further who have got a better increment. So it is always better to reward those people who have performed. Creating change fatigue, bringing a lot of change at once. It should be a calibrated approach whereby employees tie up with the change. So before cellular, first wireless came, then pager came, then keypad mobile. Even in technology, it comes in stages. If you bring something of 10 year hence, market also doesn't accept it as much, and the product fails or the idea fails to catch up. Similarly, in the company, one should not bring lot of changes one after other. Otherwise, people are not able to buy the idea and they are not able to put themselves behind it. Ignoring demotivators, cutting allowances, cutting stationery cost, uh, cutting small benefits demotivates employee in a big way, and these should be avoided or maybe done with a very careful way of looking at it, is what I have written, sir.
Fantastic. Very good. One thing is very obvious from most of what you said, Mr. Jain, that you give a lot of importance to money, because everything you have tagged to some sort of a financial thing. I think you need to come out of that.
I have to correct over there.
Yes, you have to. Because treating all employees the same is not necessarily the same increment for everybody. You know, you need not club everything with money. Money is just one aspect of employment. There are many more aspects of employment, which I think you will have to develop your thinking in that angle. For some people, you know, a reward of 500 rupees might mean a lot. For some people, an invitation to dinner by the boss might mean a lot. For some people, you know, being recognized in front of everybody that this guy has done a great job means a lot. For some people, telling them that, guy, you really helped me, or I was in trouble and you helped me with this thing, that would mean a lot. For some, a private word of thank you can mean a lot. So you see, you need to understand horses for courses. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, rule number 2.
We have already discussed about the 4 points only. About the first is it only relying on the financial data. So whatever we have written, it is just like we feel bubble in soda. We cannot be the only one thing which not dependent on the financial. This was the conclusion. Second was the overlooking the power of purpose. Power of purpose, we have to clarify the purpose. Clarity of purpose should be more without journey without purpose cannot be completed. That's why we have to explain each and employees to the purpose clearly. And the third, ignoring informal leaders. It is informal is considering that all informal leaders to be the part of the, not the part stakeholder, not the or in official capacity, but informally they may feel important, and but they are the part of the problem only. Make them the informal leader. This was the icon written. And then that fourth was the top-down mandate without buy-in. Is the objective must be given, and everybody should be convinced. This was the now, because whatever we have discussed a lot, but they could not find the what's.
No, but yeah, these were the 4 points which we have discussed.
Yes, you may please, Dushanji, or whatever, we can say add something.
No, only one thing which is there for the when we were talking about the overlooking the power of purpose, like you have already said, clarity of the why is important. and always connecting with the why, and it's an ongoing process. That is what we discussed. Nothing else other than what you have said.
Boliye, Anil ji.
Yogesh, we also discussed about creating a dashboard so that there is a clarity and we can view so day-to-day progress and everything. And in this way, there will be more transparency and employees are more motivated also. Thank you.
Very good. Excellent point.
All employees are not the same. I remind one of the example. There was very lot of work was there, and my boss was sent to me. I am sending you a gem to you. No, he will do all things. The simple sentence has put me in the for a 3 to 4 months. I worked for day and night on this. That I remember.
Okay, great. So now let us see. Very good, beautiful. See, everything you all have said is valid. It's not that what you have said is not right. Let's look at it in a slightly more detailed manner, how more scientifically it can be handled. Relying solely on financial incentives. Financial incentives are extremely short-lived. Always, tag your rewards with intrinsic motivators. People want autonomy and purpose. So give them training and show them why they should do something and how that will be contributing to the overall benefit of the company as well as for themselves. Because financial rewards has got tremendously, short time. Once it is given, it is over. Second, overlooking the power of purpose. You can only overlook the power of purpose at great danger. You know one thing, there is a particular case study where Cleveland Clinic is a very world famous clinic, medical clinic. They wanted to improve the patient experience. What they did was they gave everyone the title of a caregiver. Even the janitor was called a caregiver. When even up to the janitor, they felt that they are, meaningfully contributing to the well-being of the patients who are attending, the whole outlook changed. Link the change to meaningful mission or a deeper cause. That is the reason, why we need to create value in what we are doing. For instance, let us take Mr. Jain. Mr. Jain is someone who does certification for companies. There are many employees in these companies. Each employee is doing something different. All the employees are not doing the same work. But if we were to help them understand how certification will help the company for which they are working, providing the service, how it will help them, how it will help enhance their image in the eyes of the competitors, or how it will help in the company developing a very robust process, how it will help enhance their businesses. If all the employees were made aware of this purpose, the value that they are going to give, they will feel they are doing a higher cause. We go to a doctor. All of us have gone to a doctor. He treats us, he gives us medicine, we pay him the salary, the money for it. But still, in our eyes, we hold the doctor as next to God. Why? He has studied because he requires a way of income. He is practicing because he wants income. He will not treat you if you don't give him the fees. But still we treat him as next to God. Why? Because we feel he is undertaking a higher purpose than just receiving money from us. In the same way, if we can help all our employees, our subordinates, our team members understand the higher purpose which they are achieving, then I think, we will be able to motivate them to a very, very great extent. They will know that they are positively contributing. The third, ignoring informal leaders. These informal leaders are a very dangerous thing. I heard many suggestions, that we should bring them into the team and then, we should keep. No, informal leaders need to be identified and involved in an informal manner right from the time you realize that such an informal leader exists. You don't have to take his opinion. You don't have to seek his opinion. But indirectly and overtly and covertly point out to him that you are aware that he exists and you have your eyes on him. This can happen by just maybe having a cup of tea. One such person, can any one of you name who was an expert in taking care of informal leaders?
Narendra Modi. No?
He is a Modi, but not Narendra Modi.
Acha.
He is a Modi. You are right. The second name you got was right. His name is Rusi Modi. How many of you have heard of it?
Yes.
He was the head of Tata Steel in Jamshedpur. And every day, after the morning work, he used to finish by around 11 o'clock. There was a big peepal tree in the grounds outside the office. He used to go and stand there. There was a tea shop next to it. He used to have tea, and all the employees and these leaders and informal leaders, union leaders, all these shop floor people, they used to come there for tea. He used to stand and chit chat with them, have tea. Do you know one thing? Tata Steel never had a strike till Narendra Modi was there as a chairman. Not once. He knew everything which was happening. There is a very big story about him. I don't know how many of you have heard. Once, some people, when he was having tea, they came and complained to him, "Ki sahab, hamara toilet bahut ganda hai." He said, "Our toilet is very dirty. Koi dekhta nahi hai."
Yes, sir. This is story I have received.
Wait.
Yeah.
So he called a meet. अरे भाई इतनी जल्दी क्या है? बोल रहा हूँ ना, 2 मिनट तो रुक जाओ. So he called a meeting of the trade union leaders, of the senior management, administration, everyone. He called a meeting. Then he created. Suresh, are you such a? You tell the story, Suresh.
No, sir.
Either you stop gesturing. I know you know. I know everybody knows here. But they are all humoring me by allowing me to tell the story. You also humor. So he created a committee and told them to check both the toilets. They went and checked both the toilets. The executive's toilet was very nice. The employee's toilet was very bad. Then he called the administrative head and he asked him, how long will it take to correct this toilet and make it as clean as the executive toilet? He says, sir, 3-4 mahina to lag jayega. We'll have to call for a tender and this and that and that and this and everything. He said, okay, you initiate the process. But you tell me that by what date it will be ready. That fellow said, sir, give me some extra time. But definitely in 6 months' time, I will ensure that this toilet is as good as the executive's toilet. He said, done. They fixed up the date. At the end of 6 months, this toilet should be as good as that toilet. Then the master stroke came. He said, till that time, change the boards. The employee's toilet will be the executive's toilet. The executive's toilet will be the employee's toilet. That was Rusi Modi. This has got nothing to do with, informal influencers. But what I'm trying to tell you is, the level of concern should be there. When we talk about influencers, informal influencers, we are talking about developing concern for our people, not manipulating them. And since every day you used to stand there and have tea with the employees and all level of people used to come there for tea and used to have, because they know chairman is standing there. What is a vice president or a president in front of a chairman? If the chairman can stand there, they can also come. And what happened was there was a huge amount of interaction. Everybody was happy and everybody was satisfied. So start early. One of the best ways of harnessing the power of the influencers is being close to your people. Balakrishnan sir, can you unmute?
Yes, sir.
What time is your dinner, lunch time in the office?
1:30 to 2, sir.
Where do the people have lunch?
In the canteen, sir.
Where do you have lunch?
If I take my house, I will in my cabin. Otherwise, I will go to the canteen and have a lunch.
Why don't you, even if you bring from the house, why don't you take the food and go sit with them in the canteen and have it?
No problem.
The food is yours only.
Yes.
From the house it has come.
Yeah.
But what is the advantage of sitting and having in the canteen?
We can discuss with the people, sir.
Never do that. Gossip with them if you want. Don't discuss official matter. Remember one thing. A CEO is also an employee of the company. The peon is also an employee of the company. The only difference is you are paid higher because of the responsibilities you carry. He gets paid less because of the responsibilities he carries.
Correct, sir.
But both of you are dispensable, employees of the company.
Correct, sir.
So when you see, it's up to you. Why I'm saying this is, throughout my life, my entire, I've been in the corporate for so many years, over 40 years. I've always had, my food or my tiffin or whatever it is, only with my team members or my employees, my subordinates, everything. And I am great at gossiping. I never talk official business casually. Never. If anyone talks casually to me, anything official, if I'm sitting and having someone comes and tells me, Sabye, say, leave it. Come to my room, we will discuss that. This is not the place for it. This is one beautiful way you can harness informal influences. Because you see, then there is no question of give and take. You're not asking anything from him, but the more you become close to each other, the more he becomes obliged to behave well with you, the more he becomes obliged to listen to you.
Okay.
Top-down mandate without buy-in. Co-create change with those who will be impacted. You see, today someone was telling that we should discuss and take everything from subordinates. No, that is the most dangerous thing you can do. No company can run if the management does not have the right to decide. No company can run.
Has a right to
decide. Decision making is the primary function of the management. So if the company wants to achieve 100 crores, you're not going to go and ask the person at the bottom most how much you will do and then start adding one by one and come to 100 crores. You'll never be able to reach that. So 100 crores is a given. But don't push it down. What do? There is a simple way of doing it, which is called co-creation. Co-creation takes into account the fact that what is to be created is decided by the management. How it is to be created is contributed to by the team. What is to be created need not be contributed by the team. What is to be created is to be decided by the management. The company has decided to achieve 100 crores this year. I would like to discuss with you all and take inputs from you as to how we should go about achieving it. This is co-creation. Is it clear? Then they will say, "Theek." So you tell them, there you have got 5 vice presidents under you, 100 crore, 20 crore per vice president for each geographical area. Tell him 20 crores is the amount which has come to your kitty. Can you please tell me what we should do or how you would like to go about achieving this 20 crore? Or would you be able to contribute more? Or would you be able to, do you want a cut in it? How are you going to ensure that the deficit that you give is covered by somebody else? Who would be willing to take the extra load from you? It is at that level, the co-creation begins. But the 100 crore has to come from the management. It cannot come from bottoms up. This is where smart objective fails. Because if you can achieve 10 crores, someone comes and asks you how much you will do, you will always say 9 crores. You will want that buffer of 1 crore. Your boss, you will go and give 9 crores to him. How much will he give to his boss? He will give 8 crores because he will want 1 crore buffer for himself. In this buffer game, you will end up with 50% at the topmost level. Now, what does the company do?
5 crore.
How will it survive? So it is always better fix the target and then co-create the methodology to achieve that target with the team. Co-creation does not mean conceptualizing the target. Co-creation means designing the methodology to achieve the target which has been conceived. Is it clear? This is applicable for everything. The decision emanates from the topmost position. Tell me one thing, can India have ever become a technologically capable country if the decisions were taken at the lowest level? Supposing when computerization started, if the bank computerization began, you mean to tell me the bank computerization was asked for by the tellers in the bank? The chairman of the bank and the board decided we will computerize, and then they called all the people and decided how the capabilities are going to be created in the people so that they can work in a computerized bank. How to ensure that that capability is transferred can be left to the people, their suggestion, and then you can modify it so that, there is a acceptability within them, but the decision making has always got to be at the top. That is why it is said strategic decision making is a key management capability. That brings us to the next one. Not creating emotional engagement. Use storytelling. Storytelling to highlight the key points. What do we mean by storytelling to highlight the key points? Let me give you a simple example.
Okay.
2 days back, we had one of the mentoring programs I had with Mr. Balakrishnan. I was surprised that, in 3 months, there has been a huge change, a shift in the way he is thinking, the way he is doing things, the way he is approaching everything. I tried to understand what it was which created this sort of a shift. Because the person is still the same. And then I realized that what really brought in the shift was a consciousness about things. And you know what brought that consciousness? The dashboard. Am I right, Mr. Balakrishnan?
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
So the dashboard being in his office, we created the dashboard. I suggested to him, he created the dashboard, he started filling it up. Then with every meeting, you know, I started making suggestions to what has to be added. He did it very religiously. He fills up the dashboard regularly. He looks at it. Then, you know, initially I had to ask him for information. Now he is sending me information every time before my meeting. He's sending the MIS report. He is sending the, you know, discussion report. He is sending the dashboard, updated dashboard, and he is coming ready with all the information. This is what? This is storytelling. What have I done by it? I have pointed out to each and every mentee here that you better take dashboard seriously if you want to grow. How many will take it seriously is up to them. But this will get the emotional buy-in because you are seeing that one person is succeeding.
So not only that, sir, this will remind you every time your backlog, you're logging or you're going up like that. It's going on reminding you where you are.
See, that's precisely the role of a dashboard. A dashboard puts its finger inside your eyes and points it out to you. I don't want to talk about figures, but I can tell you one thing. In the first month, he was on 20% of his objective. Am I right, Mr. Balakrishnan? Second month, he came to 40% of the objective. This month, he's hitting the objective. That is what the dashboard has done. This is called getting emotional commitment. What I have done is I have highlighted through the story of one of your colleagues the importance of a particular tool in performance. And that performance has come only by him, not by me. Please understand that. I am in no way responsible for what Mr. Balakrishnan is achieving. And this he is achieving not only in terms of sales, he is achieving it in terms of receivables also. His payment has also gone up accordingly. Everything has gone up. So you can use storytelling like this with your team members. Pick up one real story and then tell it to them to highlight how they can also match up to it. Failing to celebrate early wins. Acknowledge and reward small victories early and often. Something might be very small for you, but it might not be small for the other person. So whenever someone does a good job, there is a small achievement, acknowledge it. Treating all employees the same. This is the biggest blunder people can make. Tailor motivation strategies based on roles and individual needs. People are intelligent differently. Different people are intelligent differently. Different people have different emotional needs. Different people have different social needs. So tailor your motivational strategy for that. Supposing a person is very social and he wants to be close to power, call him for a dinner or take him out for a dinner with his family. Somebody is very money-minded. Give him financial rewards. Show him financial rewards. Creating change fatigue. Never attempt everything at the same time. Sequence initiatives, prioritize ruthlessly, and provide breathing space. Don't rush everything at the same time. For each individual, prioritize what you want to push first. Poor and inconsistent communication. Don't keep changing the goalpost. Align leadership messages and use repetition. Can any one of you tell me something different which happened today in the program?
Perhaps, in my view, you have called for Sunday, I think. It is.
Yeah, by mistake I had said, but then I had sent the Saturday and then I had mentioned also it is Saturday. Today also I reminded it is Saturday.
Thank you. Thank you.
I never spoke about the Bhagavad Gita thing, you know.
Yes.
For 5 years, I have been telling that as the third thing in my program.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to check, you know, whether it has had any impact. Now I realize it hasn't had any impact.
Already impacted, sir.
कहाँ इम्पैक्ट हुआ तो याद रखते ना बोलते ना कि आज आपने नहीं बोला वो
अब आज वो इनिशियली थोड़ा
मैं इस पार्ट ऑफ द स्लाइड के लिए ही मैंने आज नहीं बोला इस पार्ट ऑफ द स्लाइड के लिए आज मैंने नहीं बोला सोचा शायद आप लोग बोलोगे मैं मुंह के बल गिरा
नहीं ऐसे
anyway so you see you need to be very consistent you should be very consistent remember one thing the more consistent you are in your behavior the world will be consistent with you आप यदि बेपेंदी के लोटे की तरह हो गए कभी इधर लुढ़क गए कभी उधर लुढ़क गए तो दुनिया भी वैसे ही लुढ़कती रहेगी if you want consistency from the universe you have to be consistent today you can't tell one thing and then change the goalpost for tomorrow no one has ever achieved anything big in life without being consistent and resilient and then finally ignoring demotivators there are hundreds and hundreds of demotivators fix the basics tools processes people fix all the basics what do we mean by tools processes people not giving the essential tools to execute the job properly is a demotivator not training people adequately to be able to face up to the situation is a demotivator. Not understanding and explaining the process by which something can be achieved is a demotivator. Not ensuring that people are treated fairly and the way you would rather they treat you is a demotivator. Someone said, I think it was Yogesh who said, you know, कंपनी परफॉर्म नहीं कर रही है आप तनख्वाह काट रहे हो एम्प्लॉइज का और खुद आके उतरे ऑडी कार में डोंट एक्सपेक्ट पीपल टू बी मोटिवेटेड आई हैव सीन दिस यू नो you are sitting in a meeting you are the top honcho बीच में कॉफी टिफिन आया सबसे पहले आपके पास आया और आप खाना शुरू कर दिए इट मे बी जस्ट वन समोसा और व्हाटएवर इट इज अरे इतनी भी क्या जल्दी है इतने लोग बैठे सबको परोस तो देने दो आइडियली स्पीकिंग दे शुड गेट फर्स्ट एंड यू शुड गेट द लास्ट बीइंग द लीडर यू शुड हैव टोल्ड देम उनको पहले दो बट देन इट कम्स टू यू यू स्टार्ट ईटिंग फर्स्ट So you see, these are all demotivators. There are three major things which demotivate people. One is tools, not providing them adequately the tools with which they can execute their authority is a demotivator, huge demotivator. Second thing is not explaining and clarifying why a particular process is required to be followed to achieve something is a demotivator. There are many ways one can achieve something. But if there is a particular process by which you want to go, there is a process for, for quality, then you have to explain the process to them. You can give them the autonomy. The autonomy does not mean, remember one thing, freedom and license are two different things. You have the freedom to do what you want. You don't have the license to do what you want. When a particular process is there, you have the freedom to do, execute it in that process whenever you want it at your convenience within the time frame and which it is to be delivered. But you can't change and tamper with that process. So you see, being able to explain the process to the people is very, 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 very important. And third thing is treating people as people. You can't treat people as a commodity. They are not a commodity. These three things are very important, but that does not mean you have to become subordinate to your subordinate in the name of treating him as a people. Your position has got certain rights. And you have the license to execute that positional right. Mind you, I did not say freedom, I said license. You can execute it. You can demand that he behave in a particular way when he is discussing with you. But you should do it with the importance that he should get in his position. So you see, these demotivators, be very careful about. We are all married. We have all got our wives. There are times when our spouse, our better halves, behave in a way which we don't appreciate or approve of. But we are very careful in expressing our displeasure. Are we not?
Yes.
We are free to express our displeasure. But there are limitations in how to do it. Similarly, you are free to express your displeasure, discontent, dissatisfaction with your subordinate and team members, but there is a way to do it accordingly. Now let us see the strategies to overcome motivational hurdles. How do large companies, how do they do it? These are examples which have been taken from big companies. Number one, create a kingpin effect. What is the kingpin effect? Kingpin effect is identify the few key influencers or opinion leaders who command respect among peers and keep a very close ear to them. You will know what is to be done. The biggest example which is used here is of Tata Steel and Rusi Modi. He had a tremendous capability of leveraging this kingpin effect. He always had his ear to the ground. And people knew that the decisions are emanating from under the banyan tree and never from his chamber. So people always used to gravitate towards him and express their feelings to him. Number two, frame the challenge as a noble cause or a moral initiative. This is very, 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 very important. You see, when you create something as a moral initiative, it becomes a very big success. There was recently a movie, if I remember, I don't know how many of you remember it. It was that about the Akshay Kumar on sanitary napkins.
Padman.
Huh?
Yes.
Padman.
Padman.
See how beautifully he turned that sanitary napkin into a noble cause. And it is a noble cause. Hygiene is a very noble cause. Third, win hearts before mind. Use emotionally charged experiences. Winning hearts before mind does not mean that you will emotionally manipulate anyone. That is not what it means. Instead of presentations and memos, use direct exposure to problem or customer pain points so that they will be able to appreciate what you are trying to point out. You remember my story of Hotel Marriott, where everyone from the chairman to the office, to the hotel doorman has to work in some other department in a client-facing, in a guest-facing role. That way, they are able to better appreciate what is happening. Let employees experience the strategic shift themselves. Whenever there is a strategic shift required, get them to experiences. Don't tell. Let them live the difference. Small wins build belief and momentum. When Infosys wanted to shift its identity from service provider to value-added innovation partner, they created Hack with Infi, a coding challenge where internal teams were called, could prototype new client solutions. Participation spiked and engagement soared. Infosys did this. Please go and check up Hack with Infi case study and you will understand what I am telling. Use fair process, involve, explain, set expectations. Be fair to the people. Remember one thing, companies are built by people. Adobe was one of the companies which eliminated the annual performance review system because it realized the review was creating a lot of confrontation between boss and subordinate. It consulted the employees, called them, explained the logic, and they piloted what was known as the feed-forward system. This led to smoother acceptance of radical HR transformation. Adobe was one of the first companies to come up with the feed-forward mechanism, leaving the feedback mechanism. Celebrate quick wins and recognize effort publicly. Who do you think is the best example of it? Satya Nadella. He was the one, who created the concept of recognition fuels momentum and validated belief in change. Under Satya Nadella, he shifted to a growth mindset culture. Microsoft was getting into a rut. He encouraged teams to adopt new ways of learning and collaborating, and he publicly praised the people who came forward and did it in company-wide meetings. It turned experimentation into a badge of honor, and he revived Microsoft again to attain the leadership position. Celebrate quick wins and recognize effort publicly. Create peer-driven accountability loop. Foster communities of practice and peer coaching where teams push each other to improve. Do you know why peer accountability and feedback is important? Can anyone of you tell me?
Accountability and peer.
Why peer accountability and feedback is very important? What is so special about peer accountability and feedback?
Peer means same level.
Yeah. Absolutely. Peer means same level. There are 3 levels. One is superior, your boss. Another is subordinate, the one who is below you. The third is peer, who is on the same level. Why is peer accountability and feedback very important?
I mean, it makes core of the
Different
team
nuances from people.
because otherwise you can't survive.
But why? Why is it important?
It brings in the gelling together, moving forward.
Why you should gel with your subordinate and your superiors or with your colleagues?
You have to gel with your colleagues because that's only otherwise.
Which is more important? Whose performance decides your success?
It's the team. It's your team.
Team means what?
Me and my peers.
No, team is not peers.
Subordinate.
Team is your subordinate. Your subordinate performance is your performance, right?
True.
And who rewards you?
The boss.
So the boss rewards you. So the subordinates perform for you, the boss rewards you. But I am telling your peers are important.
Because they are going to instill the competitiveness in you.
Arey Baba, most important, they are highly critical of you. They don't want you to succeed. If you succeed, they fail. But when at that level also they appreciate what you have done, that means how well you must have done it. Remember one thing, a peer will rarely tell you are doing something right. He will always point out the faults in what you are doing. So he is the only person who will show you the true mirror. A subordinate to chamchagiri karega. He says, boss, aap to Bhagwan ho. Khuda ke avatar ho. Because you will reward him, na? And your boss will manipulate you. Because again, your performance is going to affect him. It is the peer whose accountability and feedback is very, very, very crucial. If you take your peers' criticism seriously, remember one thing, in literature, there is a word for criticism. Can any one of you tell me what is that word? What is that phrase? It's not a word. It's a 2-worded phrase.
Peer pressure.
No, it is called critical appreciation. Anyone who has had English in the colleges and other things will know one question always comes. They give a particular poem, an ode to a country earned. Give a critical appreciation of William Wordsworth's poem, Ode to the Country Earned. That means you have to appreciate the poet while criticizing the drawbacks of that poem. Similarly, peer feedback and accountability is a major tool by which you can understand what you are doing as demotivators, what you need to stop doing. And remember one thing, your peer will always keep his eyes and ears open about your subordinates, what they are telling about you. And whenever there is a negative statement, he will blow it up 10 times and come and tell you, yeah, tu theek nahi kar raha hai. Malum hai, Sanjay is very unhappy with you. Why? He wants to create friction between you both, so that when you have friction, he and his team will be able to perform better. Components of office politics. I don't know how many of you have faced all these things, or how many of you remember having faced all these things. Use fair practice. Involve, explain, and set expectations. And then, create a peer-driven accountability loop. Always create a peer-driven accountability loop so that you will be able to perform better. And finally, remove demotivators and bottlenecks. Can any one of you tell me what is meant by remove demotivators and bottlenecks?
Micromanagement may be one of the demotivator, I would say.
Yes, definitely it is. What do we mean by bottleneck? Who is the point referring to?
Who is the?
Who is this point referring to?
Top.
You.
Absolutely.
The neck of the bottle is always at the top. The neck of the bottle is never at the bottom. So who is the biggest demotivator for any team? The boss. Who is the biggest bottleneck for any team? The boss. You ask, na? Is micromanaging a bottleneck, a demotivator? Absolutely. And when will you micromanage? Tell me.
When you don't trust your team.
When will you not trust your team?
Or when you don't have faith that they will deliver. So you want to deliver.
Not have faith that they will deliver. I will change the question. When you have not explained clearly what the objective is that you are looking for from them, your expectation is not clearly explained and the process is not explained. Yeah, tell me.
I would like to add a very different point. I
Yeah.
mean, it's an honest opinion. Particularly when you're an entrepreneur, you started something and you succeeded. Your ego of the success brings you padding that you are the only right person and you are the only one who can do the things the right way. Which becomes
Then you are not going to succeed. Then you are not going to succeed.
Absolutely. That becomes one of the biggest demotivators for the people.
That's all. You are not going to succeed then. If you think you are the person who is responsible for the success, let me remind you, there is a flip side to that coin. What is the flip side? If the company is what it is because of you, the company is also what it is not because of you. If your company is achieving 10 crores because of your capability, if it has not achieved 100 crores, that is because of your incapability.
Absolutely.
That's all. So you see, when will you not trust your people? When will you micromanage? When you have not made the expectations
So
clear
you
to
have
them.
confidence about your own ability.
Wait.
One.
When you have not explained the expectations and when you have not disseminated the process by which those expectations have to be achieved, you will not have trust on them. Why? You will not know whether he knows what you want. Second thing is, if you want things to be done in a particular way, there are certain things which have to be done in a particular way only. If you have not explained that to your subordinate, then you will not be confident he will do it that way. Then you will start micromanaging. So the best way to ensure that you don't micromanage is not to resist the temptation to micromanage. That is not the way. The best way to ensure you don't micromanage is making your expectation clear in terms of what is to be achieved, in what time it is to be achieved, what is the quality reference in which it is to be achieved, and the process by which it has to be achieved. Once you have explained these four, gotten confirmation from him that he has understood it, and confirmed that he has the necessary capability, tools, and authority to execute it, get out of the way. Because without giving him the tools to achieve it, without giving him the authority to achieve it, and without giving him adequate time to achieve it, you will not be able to get the achievement from him. Everything flows from top to bottom, Mr. Dushyant. it is up to you to ensure all these things are done. Then you will never have to micromanage. They will do it because they are also interested in achieving.
Absolutely.
Because with achievement comes a sense of degree of satisfaction and confidence that they are going to reach somewhere in life.
Now, I'd like to add one point.
Yeah.
I come from a fashion industry,
Mm.
and be it the best of them, be it Ralph or be it any of one of the most successful brands, they have always been related, created, guided, and driven by one person's vision of, let's say, Ralph Lauren, American life. Even today, though Ralph is not the CEO, he is pretty aged. He has given it over to somebody else to handle the as a CEO and executive powers. He still today selects every season. He decides the color, he decides the pattern, he decides the texture. And it is his signature that makes all the difference. And that is where bloating of the ego that makes things.
But why
for the
are we
team to-
looking at it? Just a minute. Why are we looking at it as a bloating of the ego? Just now, a few minutes back, I made a statement. Strategic decision making is the prerogative of the leader.
Management has
Simple.
the license to do it.
The strategic decision making. He decides the season. He decides the color. He decides the textile. He decides the texture. He decides the model. That is strategic decision making. But after that, everything is done by the people below him. He might not be micromanaging.
Absolutely not.
Then why is he wrong? As a boss, as a leader, that is his prerogative. To decide, you see, Narendra Modi did all the meetings and kept on listening to everything. The buck stops somewhere. That buck stops on his table. He has to decide whether to hit or not. Having decided hit, he told them, go ahead. Then he did not go and start meddling with it.
Absolutely.
To tell them to hit is his job. That decision making is his. When to hit, he decided. How to hit, they decided. When to do the talent show, when to do the fashion show, with what to do it, what color, what is the the fundamental theme of the fashion show. All these things Ralph Lauren decides. Execution is done by all his people. A perfectly a logical thing. Just because we say there has to be delegation, you mean to tell me the final authority has to be delegated by him? But that decision also is taken by him only. Please understand that. That is also a strategic decision. That I will not decide, you will decide is also a strategic decision. My authority to decide cannot be taken by you. My authority to delegate cannot be taken by you. But after delegating, after deciding and after delegating, if I interfere, that is micromanagement and that is not acceptable. If you decide the theme is green leaves, the color is green and brown, done. That is what the fashion show will all be about. If you decide the cloth is cotton, texture is moderately rough, done. That is what all the clothes will be, all the dresses will be. How to execute it, his people decide, but this he decides. I think perfectly all right. I don't see anything wrong in that. Do you?
I do see something wrong. The team, in spite of he changed, this is I think a second or third change of a CEO. He is yet not able to translate what American life is, what he looks it as an American life. He has been trying to translate, which he
But
has.
how do you know that?
Because there has been unsuccessful exits of the CEO.
So what? There are so many times it happens. All CEOs who come need not be successful. Companies like even GE, IBM, and what do you call it, General Motors, they have had failed CEOs. Just because a person assumes a position of a CEO, there is no guarantee that he will succeed. Secondly, tell me one thing. What is management? What is the definition of management? Who is a good manager?
Gets executed to the perfection as per the decision.
A good manager is one who can assume the shape, size, and color of the container he is poured into. A CEO will not be a CEO only in one company throughout his life. I've been a CEO in 5 companies. I've succeeded in all of them. In all of them, my board was different. I cannot enter saying I want the board to behave this way. I have to learn to behave the board the way the board wants. And if I can't and I fail, how is the board responsible for it? So if a CEO has failed, now you tell me one thing. Tell me the name of 3 CEOs of Ralph Lauren.
There was one Junior Lauren who came in from the family. He did not succeed. And then there was Mr. Philip.
What is his full name?
I don't remember that.
So you see, you remember Ralph Lauren, but you don't remember the name of any of the CEOs properly. What does it speak? That the impact of that gentleman has been so lasting. If any of these people were worth their grain for him to leave it to them, they would have made a name for themselves. Why they could not? Who is the CEO of Apple?
Tim Cook.
Why do you remember his name?
I mean, yes.
Because we took the company higher than where Steve Jobs left it. A very, very non-descriptive person, but has the courage to stand up to Trump and say, this is the decision of the company and we are following it. Quiet. They have done it. He took the company higher than what Steve Jobs took it. So you see, when you create a legacy with your name, people will remember you. Who is the creator of Alphabet?
Sorry?
Who is the creator of Alphabet? Who is the promoter of the company Alphabet?
Sorry.
And who is the CEO? Sundar Pichai.
Yes. I know.
How is it that Sundar Pichai is better known than even the promoters? Now let's take another example. Who is the promoter of Microsoft?
Bill Gates.
Who is the CEO?
Nadella. Yeah.
So both the names are known because both have contributed equally. So you see, it all depends upon what your contribution has been. You see, we simply cannot say that just because the current CEOs are unable to relate to the fashion industry of the US, Ralph Lauren is wrong. And I don't buy that, but okay, that's your opinion. And I'm sure it has got as much validity as what I feel.